Lights out. City still. While they dream soft, I'm already in motion. Clock hit late. House quiet, mind still sharp. They under the covers, I'm under the dark. No noise in the hallway, no phone in my hand. Just the weight of the work and the plan that I plan. I move when they sleep while the soft ones rest. While they chase comfort, I'm still in the test. Detroit taught early, don't wait for the light. If you want it real bad, you get up in the night. Seen too many talk big, then fold when it's hard. Seen the ones who stay up, still carry the guard. So I move in the silence, no crowd, no stage. Just the same old fire that don't need no praise.
It's not like I move when they sleep. Still not like while the weak ones dream. I move when they sleep, building quiet in me. No lights, no cameras, just the grind in the chest. I move when they sleep, put the soft ones to rest. They wake up later, still wondering why I'm already moving while they close their eyes.
Bass walking heavy, organ humming low. Snare crack clean, kick pushing every blow. They sleep on the truth, sleep on the code, sleep on the men who still carry the load. I ain't mad at the rest, I just don't take part. I'd rather stay hungry than get soft in the heart. Late nights built legends, quiet hours built kings, while the loud ones slept on the realest of things. So I keep the same hours that the real ones keep. Out here still moving while the soft ones sleep.
I move when they sleep, while the weak ones dream. I move when they sleep, building quiet in me. No lights, no cameras, just a grind in the chest. I move when they sleep, put the soft ones to rest. They wake up later, still wondering why I'm already moving while they close their eyes.
Let them rest, let them dream soft. I'll be right here, still carrying the cost.
I move when they sleep, while the weak ones dream. I move when they sleep, building quiet in me. No lights, no cameras, just a grind in the chest. I move when they sleep, put the soft ones to rest. They wake up later, still wondering why I'm already moving while they close their eyes.
Still moving,
still building,
while they sleep.
Betrayal does not begin with a blade. It begins with a chair at your table, a private conversation, a favor they intend to erase. 5 steps. Watch the pattern. Yeah. Step 1, rewrite the man, make the lie fit neat. Build a version in public that is safer to defeat. You knew what I meant, but the truth would not trend, so you bent every sentence, then you called it defense. Step 2, when the argument failed, make identity the change. Question my blackness, try to discipline my brain. I was black when you needed my access in my hand, then a traitor when I would not let your politics command. You did not test my logic, you challenged my right to stand in my own skin, still choose my own life. You wanted an obedient symbol, not a brother with a view. So the moment I spoke freely, I became a threat to you. close ain't kin, and a smile ain't proof. A seat at my table does not purchase my truth. You entered as a student, left posing as the judge. That is envy, learning language in disguise, in a grudge. First you studied the door, then the locks, then the room.
Then you sell what was private,
like a story you own.
but the dark keeps receipts.
And the record survives. Every borrowed handprint shows when truth turns on the light.
Close enough to cut me, close enough to lie. Borrowed from my fire, then you cursed me for the lie. 5 steps from the table to the blade behind your smile. Proximity and loyalty, I see you clearly now.
Step 3, erase the favor, kill the dead inside the tale. If you admit I ever helped you, your betrayal starts to fail. So you rewrite your beginning like you rose there on your own, while the bricks beneath your platform came directly from my home. Step 4, manufacture grievance, give the theft a moral name. Turn ambition into injury, exploitation into pain. Now the user plays the victim and the witness gets accused. Every kindness becomes evidence that you were somehow used. You needed righteous theater to legitimize the take, so you found a private fragment and promoted it as fate. You do not need facts when resentment fills the room. Just a villain and a slogan in the crowd to chant the tune. But gratitude ain't weakness, truth ain't tribal control. And the debt that you deny still leaves a stain upon the soul. The lie may win a moment, but the pattern does not bend. The one who steals the ladder fears who watch the holder sink.
Close enough to cut me, oh, close enough to lie. Borrowed from my fire, then you cursed me for the lie. 5 steps from the table to the blade behind your smile. Proximity and loyalty, I see you clearly now.
Step 5, weaponize access. Every secret becomes stock. Every wound becomes a headline. Every trust becomes a prop. You sat close enough to listen, close enough to learn the scars. Then you sold the map to strangers and pretended it was yours. That ain't critique, that is conversion. Relationship to rounds, turning rooms of private mercy into ammunition now. But what you exposed was not me, it was the hunger in your frame. You needed my proximity to manufacture your name. I do not regret the help, and I regret ignoring signs. Confusing shared experience with a symmetry of minds. Community ain't immunity from envy or deceit, and common skin cannot sanctify the motives underneath. So I forgive without reopening the gate. Love from a distance, let discernment set the way. You may profit from the story, but the ending remains mine. You borrowed from the light, you could never own the shine. Not everybody beside you is with you. Not everybody who needs you respects you. Access is not loyalty. Familiarity is not love. Proximity only reveals what character does with opportunity.
Close enough to cut me, close enough to lie. Borrowed from my fire, then you cursed me for the lie. 5 moons, same disguise, I can't read the pattern now. Proximity ain't loyalty, I see you clearly now.
Access ain't loyalty.
Access ain't loyalty,
Familiar ain't family.
no, ain't.
You borrowed from the light, but the light still tells the truth.
With that being said, welcome to another episode of the Cellulite Podcast. Shout out to each and every one of y'all that's in the room. And now that I've shared this with no one, not even with my wife. My wife was like, "What you going live about?" My wife don't even know what I'm going live about. A lot of y'all don't know what I'm going live about. Some of y'all think that y'all know what I'm going live about. But I see that a lot of people like to hate watch, which I have no problem with, right? Because haters need to watch. They need something to do. because they ain't got nothing to do with their time. But I caught 6 clips between last night and today. 6 recorded clips. Every color, every fitted, and every hood of vape match facts. So 6 clips. Now, these 6 clips that came across my way, one really pissed me off. But then I remembered that there was some things that has been going on that I need to pay attention to. But I was focused on other things, right? And I referenced something that me and my wife always talks about. As long as they doing this, you winning. As long as they doing this, you winning. And I don't know if he's listening or not. But then I remember a very long conversation, which I don't know if he want me shouting him out or whatever. I'll just say this. If you listening, everything you said was true. And I mean that in a positive way, if you listening. And he'll know who I'm talking about once I get into my topic, right? This conversation that I had a long time ago, what I learned in this conversation is that those of us who find growth, those of us who find success, we then find ourselves getting approached by people seeking our help. And then we take the time to help these people. And in the midst of taking the time to help these people, they say they rock with you. They say that they're trying to learn from you. They say that they're trying to build with you. They say they're trying to grow. And come to find out, just like y'all heard in the song, they get close enough to cut you, and then they get far enough to lie. Excuse me for a second, y'all. So, in tonight's live stream, I'm going to pull what my OG does. I'm not going to give you the power of giving you your name. And if you don't know, or you got an idea, if I'm talking about you, I'm talking about you, right? So I'm going to start by saying this. Some people do not come into your life to stand beside you. They come close enough to measure you. They study what you built. They learn who you trust. And then they learn how to get your trust. They collect your words. They collect your rhetoric. They collect your talking points. But most importantly, as a content creator, they come for your shine. But then the reason that they're trying to get close to you is trying to learn your shines, because they really just want to learn your weaknesses. They want to learn your habits. They want to learn your frustrations. But the sad part is these are the same people that accept your advice, and yet they borrow your credit, and they stand underneath your spotlight, and they wait until your name becomes more profitable as it can help them. Because once your name becomes profitable, it's now a target. And then when it becomes a target, then you can find out what the real connection was really about. And then they make a trade. When they were hungry, they came to my table, right? Shout out to Big Bad Bull with the $20 Super Bowl right out the gate. He says they treat you to a churrosino latte and a butter croissant from Starbucks. It's the very least that I can do to show your appreciation for your time invested coming live to give us a show. Keep your head up, bro. Fuck the Bammers. Greatly appreciate that. And that's exactly what we're speaking to. But shout out to you, salute to you, Big Bad Bull, for being the first supporter of the show. That's $80 away from a $100 show. If you want to support, it's greatly appreciated. But let me also say this, and I'm saying this for a purpose, because I know, some of y'all What y'all doing is y'all waiting for me to end y'all live, and then y'all go live, and then y'all throw dirt on my name. The same people who said, oh, it's big time content creators out here who don't give us small content creators enough attention, and then they throw us in the wayside, but then they don't want to speak to us. They don't want to give us a chance. I didn't know I was considered a big time content creator. But then I give you a platform. Then I give you advice. Then I give you a voice. I give you opportunity. And the first thing you give me is shit on my name. But I'm not done yet. Because there's others of you that have been around for quite some time. You needed me as a benefit for an opportunity for you to come up. But a lot of y'all have done that, right? Because eventually they have to now trade for their credibility. And what do they have to offer? They serve me up as food. They serve me up as food to an audience that they think loves them. And it works. I have no problem with that, right? Why So Serious says, just realize you have 39,000 subs. That's a fact. Appreciate you, big homie. And you know what? Why So Serious? A lot of other people recognize when I was at 2,000 subs that I magically went from 2,000 to 5,000 to 10,000 to 15,000 to 20,000, 25,000 to 30,000 to 35,000. Then I hit 38,000 and magically things start changing. Appreciate you, Deacon Dave, for the $5. He says, add a scone to that order. Appreciate you. We're now $75 away from a $100 show. And we just getting started. I didn't even get into my topic yet. But these same people, when they was hungry, they came to my table. When nobody could see them or nobody batted an eye at them, they asked to stand beneath my light and sit at my table and eat food with me and break bread at my house. When they needed strategy, when they needed exposure, when they needed introductions, when they need to be introduced into other spaces or into other content creators or to get next to certain content creators. And I'm not mentioning no names just yet. When they wanted to get next to, oh, you cool with this person? Let me get cool with you, Sal. Oh, you cool with this person? Introduce me to this person. Oh, you rock with this person? Introduce me to that person. Oh, you know them? Introduce me to them. Send me the link to their page. Or they wanted even more, something that was more dangerous. They wanted a seat on the show, or they wanted me to come to their show. And I was doing what I thought was being done for me, which it was being done for me. But then I understood there was something that was happening. Because a certain few content, and I'm not naming just one, a certain few content creators who I have collaborated with, or I have built a relationship, not just a relationship, but a loyal relationship. Certain people who came to my platform when they tried to get them to come to theirs and they refused to go. And then they recognized that there was people who not only disagreed with me, but also disrespected me. So they made friends with them and they got close to them. But when they came to me, they asked for help. And what did I do? I helped them. Certain people stepped down out of their 1 million subscriber platform, they 800,000 subscriber platform, or they 500,000 subscriber platform, or they 300,000 subscriber platform, or they 4 million subscriber platform, and they came to my platform, and people said, "Oh, you know Will, you know Cellulite. Oh, I need to get in good with Cellulite." Oh, okay. When certain people who had big numbers was sharing out my platform and was getting my platform bigged up and was growing my platform and helped me get to other heights that a lot of people was trying to grow, they came to me. And what was done for me is that there was a very few high number, high subscriber, high exposure content creators who came to me. But there was one that everybody hated the most. And instead of joining the bandwagon of being a hater of the one, then they had to jump off that bandwagon and made me an enemy to others. Pay attention. But I helped them. And then they walked back into their own houses. They walked back into their own hoods. After they have filled their belly and they have feasted all that they could, they left the shit at my door and took the knowledge and the wisdom and the advice and the strategy back to their house. They kept the fruit and they cursed the tree. They climbed the ladder and then they kicked it down. Then they told the crowd that reached the roof that they did it all by themselves. They took the access I gave them and they sharpened it into a weapon. Then they turned around and they sliced my neck the moment they got back home. So they don't call it a misunderstanding. They don't call it a healthy disagreement. It's called betrayal with a business model. And this whole thing began, and I'm gonna give y'all an honest chance to think. When did this start for you, Sale? Did this start after Fight Club? Did it start before Fight Club? Did it start before the boxing match? Did it start after the boxing match? Did it start when you was getting exposure? Did it start when you start collaborating with others? Did it start when you got with your wife? Did it start when you start falling out with other content creators? Did it start when those same content creators you was falling out with came back to you and asked for help? Did it start when other content creators you was bigging up and you was defending, those same content creators then went out and they shat on your name? When did it start, Sale? When did it start? It started when a certain thing started happening to my channel. When a certain thing started happening to my channel because I wouldn't go along with the get along. But it did what it didn't do was I didn't create this behavior that they had. All it did was exposed it. And then suddenly these transformed honorable people became enemies. But they didn't become enemies of mine. They didn't become enemies of y'all's. No, but they became enemy to success. And why is that? Because it was success that they did not breed. It gave dishonorable people a socially acceptable costume to conduct the bullshit that they was already a part of. And more so that they was willing to commit. Because once they called me a coon, a traitor, anti-black, or I'm somebody that's desperate for white approval, and they no longer had to answer what I actually had to say, they didn't know what else to do. They could erase the help that they received. They manufactured a grievance, turned private access into public ammunition, and then they collect applause for betraying the one person that they came to, that they begged for assistance. And tonight is not a group therapy. Tonight is not a revenge tour. It is not a roll call of everybody who disappointed me. It's an autopsy. Tonight, I'm placing that pattern on the table and I'm opening it up piece by piece. I'm identifying every instrument that was used. The lie, the loyalty test, the erased contribution, the manufactured grievance, and the weaponized access. 5 moves, 1 playbook. And this is what I call the 5-Step Proximity Betrayal Playbook. And understand that the boundary began way before I even started talking, way before I started growing, way before I had 5,000 in the chat, 8,000 in the chat, 12,000 in the chat, before I had 1 million views, before I had 5 million views, before I had 10 million views, before I had 80 million views, before I had 120 million views, way before that, way before some of these content creators and panelists and chatters and subscribers and contributors partook in getting me deplatformed, getting me demonetized, celebrating all over the space about, oh, they finally got cellulite. Thank you, Lordy. This is not an indictment of Black content creators. This is not an indictment of Black liberal content creators. This is not an indictment of y'all as content creators or everybody from the hood. Because when we think about it, political disagreement is legitimate. I have no problem with that. Criticism is legitimate. I have no problem with that. Walking away is legitimate. I have no problem with that. But if you knowingly distort my position using racial slurs to discipline my thinking, deny the assistance that you requested and received, and then you invent a grievance because outrage is what pays, and weaponizing the access that I gave you, then we are not discussing politics. We're not discussing blackness. We're not discussing relationships. We're not discussing association. We're not discussing personal accountability. We're now examining character. So I'm not here to beg nobody to recognize my blackness. I'm not applying for ideological readmission. I came to name the method, expose the transaction, and let the light do what the light always have done. Reveal who entered the room with clean hands, those who came seeking only when they seen that the tables was full, when they seen that the panels was full with big names, when they seen that the contributions was coming through, when they seen that the numbers was up, when they seen that the subscriber count went up, when they seen that, oh, well, big time content creators won't give us small guys an opportunity and a chance. Guess what? You got to remember, I was a small-time content creator too. I'm a small-time content creator now. I have 37 people in my chat. So this all started, and like I said, with the Karmelo case. Because the case did not create the character. It exposed it. The turmoil surrounding my Karmelo Anthony coverage became a pressure test. It was not the only cause. It was a few others. It was some other things. My channel had already experienced sporadic growth during a short political experiment that happened way after my first coverage of the Karmelo Anthony thing. And the more openly I had expressed my views on the Karmelo Anthony case as a Black conservative, the more certain relationships began to change. People who were comfortable with me as long as I was useful became uncomfortable when I became ideologically visible. As long as the platform could help them, my politics could be tolerated, or my blackness could be ignored, or it could be kept in the background. My rhetoric, although maybe have dangerous to them or maybe have been brutal to them, it was my access and my exposure and the opportunity that was sensationalized to them. But once I expressed conclusions that conflicted with a proved narrative, that relationship was tested. These associations was tested. Suddenly, the conversation was no longer about whether my evidence was sound or whether my argument was consistent. It became, he is a coon. He is cooning. He a traitor. He does not like Black people. He loves white people more than his own. And yet these same people was in my DMs and commenting in my chat and asking me for an interview, or asking me to be a part of a debate, or asking me to be a part of something that I didn't want to be a part of, which was become your whipping post because I'm a black conservative. But no, these same people who dribbled and dabbled and polluted all within themselves to be on conservative platforms so they can spread their ideological liberalisms. But I'm not done yet. Because their politics was not as valuable as their blackness, because they thought that my politics was more valuable than my blackness. I want to say that again. Their politics was not as valuable as their blackness, because they thought that my politics was more valuable than my blackness. And those labels was not designed to answer me. They were designed to discipline me. The message underneath them was, your blackness will be recognized only if your political conclusions remain inside the boundaries that we approve. And for those of you who don't know, that is racial identity policing. It converts political disagreement into an accusation of racial disloyalty. And these are the same people that called into question my blackness, and they have interracial agreements or interracial contracts. These are the same people that sit back and swear up and down that they have the best interest for children and women, and yet they call women hoes and they say disturbing things about black women. But all of that was welcome when certain people was coming to my platform, because I had big time content creators coming to my platform. So to make it better for them, they was willing to put up with the shit that they don't like about me because they had access to bigger names than me. Only to then turn around and use my name as a whipping post and a stepping stool to grow their channels. What they say is, they say that a black person is not permitted to be merely wrong. If he departs from the consciousness, he must be corrupt, bought, self-hating, or desperate for white approval. He just can't have a difference of opinion. But the case did not manufacture that character in people. It revealed which relationships were based on mutual respect and which relationships were based on usefulness. And pressure does not always create the fracture. Sometimes pressure simply shows you where the fracture had been hiding. So before we discuss what they hid, we must understand the position that I occupy. And that position is that I am not culturally outside Black America. I'm not. I am politically outside a particular expectation within it. I do not exist as a Black individual outside of Black America. I'm still a Black man inside Black America. I just happen to not believe into the ideologies that keep y'all within a plantation of locked in itness. But when the opportunity came to gain the exposure that I found, you were willing to step off of. 1 second, please. You were willing to step off of your blackness to be next to me. So I'm trying to understand, if I am a traitor to the community, why were you willing to work with me? If I am a hater of Black people, why were you willing to work with me? If I am a coon, why were you willing to work with me? And you please don't use the base excuse of, oh, well, it was just for content. If it was just for content, then why ask me for help? Why not go ask the same individuals who believe in the things that you believe in? I know why. And it goes back to that conversation that I had with that certain content creator, which I don't need to name his or her or their names. Is that everything is good when I was helping them out. But when I spoke up and I spoke outside what they believe, they then shitted on me. Not only did they shit on me, but they start cutting off access. When other rooms and other doors was widely open to other people, these same individuals that asked me for help, for some reason, they forgot I existed. But when they was inboxing me and they was asking me, how do you get your numbers to be this? What do you do? What hashtags are you using? How do you get people to super chat you? What are you doing to be able to make this much or do this much or have this, that, and the other? When everything was working in my favor and all of the fruits were available. And all the seeds were ready to be sown into everyone's garden. The problem is when I gave them the seeds, they took them back and they planted them in their garden and they claimed them as their own. They didn't tell everybody where they bought the seeds from or where the seeds was given to them from. They went back and they declared it their own. And then to broaden the horizon and to catapult their own growth, they then decided to link up with the same ones who did the same things before them. But then that leads us into part 2 of this whole entire thing. Now they have to paint a picture. See, it was cool to be inside the Black conservative banner. Why? Because Will was growing. Cellulite was doing something. It was cool to be a part of Cellulite's camp. Now, he got white conservatives over there. Oh, he got them over there, and he's allowing them to say this, that, and the other about black people. Oh, I can't believe Cell and his black wife will let white people up there to say this, that, and the third. Let me make sure I understand this. There's a content creator who has a white wife who allows people to come up on his channel and on his panel to say the craziest things. And this same content creator was one who came to me asking me for fucking help. You have another content creator who lets another white person up on his panel who called black people niggas. And at the same time, this content creator was asking me for help. You have another content creator who, by any means necessary whatsoever, has shaped his whole entire channel and movement around one specific position. But when shit was going good for Will, what did they do? They came to me just to turn around and cut my throat, shit on my name. But the black conservative is the inside outsider. See, the problem is a white conservative can be dismissed as someone who never understood the black community. But a black conservative who was born in the culture, raised in the hood, stood on the front lines, understand its language, and still reaches a different political conclusion presents a more difficult problem. As a black conservative, I can't be dismissed as unfamiliar with the experience. My existence demonstrates what black history does not mechanically produce: one political ideology. That's why I'm not often treated merely as an opponent. I'm treated as an apostate. An opponent is debated. An apostate is excommunicated. So these same people who were coming around asking for the attachment to my bandwagon that was catapulting me into success. leading me to one of the biggest YouTube checks I received in my career. And these people have been on YouTube longer than I have. They've been trying to get in contact and get in connection with some of these bigger content creators more than I have. And it just so happens I utilize my position to find my own way. And then when these people came along, I said, you know what? I don't mind helping you out. I know that we disagree here and there. I know that politically we don't align. I know that ideologically we don't align. I know that philosophically we don't align. I know that when it comes to all these different things, we don't align. But I'm more than willing to help. Because the way I was told was at one point in time, you needed help. So what did some people do? Some people helped me out. They introduced me to other rooms. They introduced me to other people. But again, I am what motivates people that you can be your own thing and be yourself. They are what motivates people that corruption is the way to go. Because his reasoning cannot be allowed to stand as authentically black. I'm what they call an inside outsider. But when it comes to myself, I did not leave my blackness when I left the hood. Just because I left the hood, I didn't leave my blackness there. I did not erase my history when I became conservative. I did not surrender my concern for black people because I refused to repeat every conclusion popular within black political culture or societal culture or just culture at all. And as always, I can oppose racism against black people and still demand accountability from black individuals. I can recognize unfair stereotyping and still insist upon having honest examination of behavior. I can disagree with liberalism without worshiping white people. I can vote differently without changing my ancestry. No political party owns my skin. No ideological movement possesses the deed to my identity. My blackness is an inheritance, a history, and a lived reality, not a ballot that somebody else is permitted to fill out on my behalf like you niggas do. Because you niggas run back to your own channel and y'all have whole entire elections. Y'all have the same shit every night, every day. But when it came to this Karmelo Anthony conversation, for some reason, y'all decided to throw my name within the ballot amongst a whole group of other people, which I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for the acknowledgement. But also, do me a favor. To those content creators that's running around shitting on my name, to those content creators that's running around using my name for clout, to those content creators that's weaponizing my channel when you was eating off my channel, do me a favor. Make sure you let them know that, oh, not only am I shitting on Sale, not only am I talking shit about Sale, but hey, when I needed a platform, he gave me one, right? Make sure you include that part too. When I needed a platform, he gave me one. Y'all don't believe me? Check it out. Watch this. Y'all listen to this and y'all tell me what y'all hear. Y'all ready? Put a 1 in the chat if you're ready. I'm just playing one of the videos. I'm not going to play the rest. Because if I have to play the rest, then I'm going to really have to get wicked. And I want to keep it kind of light. So put a 1 in the chat if y'all want to hear this right quick. Because I want y'all to see this is a prime example of what I'm talking about.
Jesus Christ is a messenger to me. And I don't have no problem with anybody that feels differently. You know, we all entitled to what we believe in. At the end of the day, we all believe in God, I believe. I know I do. Video surely showed a lot of hands being thrown on Melo. I'm saying, and they was about ready to chase after him. They was about ready to chase after him until they looked back and saw Austin collapse. I mean, so that leads me to believe that hey, they was gonna do some damage to him if he even tried to fight back. They was gonna jump him. Yeah, that hey, Cell and them was on something, man. They was on one. Where your earrings go? Oh, wait, I never put them on this morning. Go. They don't want a new trial because you better believe Mello Lawyer is going to call Hunter on that witness stand and them other students. Most definitely. Most definitely. Hey, BATL, hey, you was on you was over there? Yeah, they was on one, man. They was on one. They was trying to catch me up. They was trying to catch me up and put their beliefs off on me. They thought they had a weak-minded person over there. They couldn't stand the heat for real. They was disingenuous. They know they was. They know they was disingenuous. They said, "Hey, did you? Was you on there when they read that you can actually bring in character references?" And then they tried to say that they wasn't able to do that. I'm like, bro, you just read that you are able to bring in character issues. It said that you are able. It is a way for you to bring in character issues. And then you're going to try to tell me that, oh, yeah, but the character issues that they're talking about is irrelevant. I'm like, man, come on, man. Like, you can't make this type of stuff up. Jeff can keep on. Yep. You know he is. You know he is. He probably got him a couple cold ones right now. That liquid courage will do it to you every time. This is just the beginning for the dream team. Yeah, it is just the beginning. You know, if Karmelo Anthony is not born again and has not repented, he will be in trouble when he passed away. Yeah, I don't know what he done. I don't know what he's done and what he didn't done.
This is the part that pissed me off.
I didn't hear all of that. They were doing some serious, the C word with the ing on the end and had them Caucasian folks on there. I'm sick of black folks like that. I feel you. I feel you. You know what I'm saying? They were all on there. They were all on there. You see they tried I don't know if it was on there. They was trying to team up on me. Playing while they was playing the victim role. Yeah, so when a black conservative get to talking about the black community, all of a sudden people got an attitude. Yeah, but when I point out that you talk about the black community like that, but you ain't talking about the Caucasian community the same way. When they doing the same exact thing, that's the problem people have. If you're going to talk about one, talk about the other the same exact way.
So, this is the part that pissed me off. Now, let me tell you why this pissed me off. Because he's only one of the 5 people, or one of the 6 people. So it's 5 of the people I got clips of that was talking shit about me yesterday. Now, here's the crazy part. This same nigga who was on a live stream, and yes, I'm calling him as he is, because there's other users you just like that. Niggas that got wives, niggas that done blew up your stream because you don't want to, now you want to talk about one specific case, but you was upset because you got left on red. Niggas who was asking me for advice. Niggas who was asking me what hashtags I use. Niggas who was asking me, what do I do to get my numbers up like yours? How do I blow up my channel? Oh, damn, you cool. Now I'm going to start naming names. Damn, you cool with Nate the lawyer. Damn, you cool with the angry man. Damn, you cool with THP. Damn, you cool with this person. You cool with that person. How you get this person to join your panel? How you get this person to be a part of your show? How you get this person to share you on their community tab? How you get this person who got over 2 million subs? How you get them to shout you out on your channel and tell people to go check you out? How you get this person to send you a $500 super chat and a $500 cash app? These same niggas that was asking me for advice, who then turned around and not just replicated the business model for some reason. Next thing you know, all of a sudden, niggas start restreaming government. Niggas start hanging deadly into politics. Next thing you know, niggas start doing call-in shows. Niggas start putting a phone number up on the screen and having people call in. Next thing you know, for some reason, not everybody want to jump on the Trump train, then to turn around just to talk shit about Trump. Because why? Niggas get big names to come to their shows and they want to shit on me. Niggas want to go over to other platforms. And when I say other platforms, I'm talking about other platforms. Twitch, Rumble, Kick, and all this, that, and the other. Instagram, TikTok. These same niggas who was asking me for advice is the same niggas that's going out to try to fucking squeeze on my neck with advice. But again, I say, I can oppose racism against black people and still demand accountability from black people. I can recognize the unfair stereotyping and still insist upon honest examination of behavior. And I can disagree with these people. But something that I found is that independence does not make me infallible. Being attacked does not prove that every conclusion I reach is correct. And I still owe my audience evidence, consistency, humility, and corrections, even when I'm wrong. Because independent thinking is not automatically disagreeing with the crowd. It is applying the same standard, even when the conclusion costs you acceptance. Because once political becomes a condition of racial belonging, certain people stop debating ideas and began enforcing boundaries. And that enforcement followed a recognizable 5-step pattern. Let's get to step 3, which is the proximity betrayal playbook. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna lay it out for you. Step 1, distort the position. The first move is to invent a weaker, uglier, or more extreme version of what I actually believe. Instead of addressing my argument, they create a character who hates black people, who is a coon, who is a traitor, who is a race baiter, never holds white people accountable or automatically sides against his own. And yet they have a white wife and they move out to China. That fictional character is easier to defeat than the position that I actually hold. Because that's not criticism, it's just a narrative substitution. They replace the person with the caricature and then they congratulate themselves for defeating the character, not for actually defeating me. Step 2, they police the identity. When distortion is not enough, they use racial slurs and accusations of betrayal. Words such as coon and cooning, which don't provide no evidence whatsoever. Their function is to revoke racial legitimacy. The goal is not to persuade me. The goal is to warn other black people about social price of thinking similarly. If you step outside the boundary, we will question your identity too. Think about it. Look at what happened to Anton Daniels and Corey Holcomb. You kissing the ass of white people. You sucking the dick of black people. That is ideological discipline imposed through racial humiliation. Step 3, erase the contribution. They deny or minimize the assistance that they received because gratitude would complicate the victim narrative, the villain narrative. If they publicly admit, this man, Sale, advised me, promoted me, helped me, welcomed me onto his platform, or helped me grow,
their audience just might ask, why would someone supposedly so hateful be generous to you? Acknowledging the help would also expose the betrayal, because you have people who host nightly shows who sistered themselves up to conservatives because they was collecting a paycheck. But the moment arose that this nightly show was shut down, and now they forgot their conservative contributions that was feeding them, and now the real them comes out. Absolutely, Dr. Benhad. So the contribution, it must disappear. The relationship must be rewritten. The beneficiary becomes self-made, and the benefactor becomes an enemy who supposedly never offered anything of value. Then you got step 4, manufacture the grievance. My baby says, these people are dumb. Everyone wants to play lawyer on TV, but not in real life. That's a fact. Next, they need a moral justification for the attack. A normal disagreement will not generate enough outrage. So the disagreement is exaggerated, stripped out of context, transformed into a personal defense. The manufactured grievance performs 2 jobs. It creates the content, and it makes opportunism looks courageous. 94 Blood Wolf says it pays to be fake nowadays. That's a fact. You know how much of a fact it is? Let me share with you how much of a fact it is. 3 minutes of your time.
Wait, hold on. Pachico, hold on. Does a 911 dispatcher has the authority to give you lawful directions?
I don't do 911.
Put a one in the chat if y'all can hear. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear this video.
Hold on. Pachico, hold on. Does a 911 dispatcher has the authority to give you lawful directions?
I don't do 911 dispatch.
Okay, cool. Shanika, let me ask you a question. Shanika, let me ask you a question.
What a stupid ass question is that?
It's a stupid ass nigga that's trying to answer. Shanika, let me ask you a question.
Stupid ass question.
So does can a 911 dispatcher tell you freeze?
No.
Oh, okay, cool. Because logical people, the adult people that's mature enough to answer a question, because dumbass niggas want to be dumbass niggas.
Fuck would somebody on the phone tell you to freeze?
Fuck niggas be like, niggas on the phone could tell you what to do. Niggas don't even. So now he want to bring up my mama.
So because he couldn't deal with the logic, he wants to bring up my mama. Okay, cool. The same nigga who cannot just disagree with what it is that I'm asking, even when I'm not asking him, he must step in and include himself, because even niggas like him was partnered up with other niggas who was asking me for help. And what did this nigga say? Oh, don't think I know what this nigga wasn't saying. Man, we don't need sell help. You don't need my help? Cool. But you're not the one asking for my help. The people who you work with is the one that's asking me for help. So if the people you work with is asking me for help and asking me for advice, or even these people is hitting my panel while certain people is on my panel asking for advice, and they getting free game from sales channel, who are you to question me? When all I'm coming to do is just get a return on investment. I help them out. I'm just coming to see what's happening. But no, you have people who have cut that line in the sand and said, no, even if you helped him, you not welcome here. So then now they must manufacture this grievance. And like I said, this manufactured grievance performs 2 jobs. It creates content, and it makes opportunism looks like courageousness. They are no longer exploiting the name of someone who helped them. They are speaking truth and exposing harm or protecting the community. Conflict becomes currency. Now we have a bounty system. And moral language launders the transaction. So the more shit that he talks about me, the more money they're going to send. If you put Cellulite Podcast on the thumbnail and you talk shit about how Cellulite Podcast is a coon, then people are going to send you money for calling Cellulite Podcast a coon. Instead of coming to Cellulite Podcast and addressing him when he drops the link, which I've done on 95% of the shows that I've ever done here on YouTube, they drop the link on their channel and they want me to come over there so I can become a part of their humiliation ritual. But remember, these same people that want to get paid to humiliate me is the same people that came to me on advice on how to get paid. Do y'all understand how do you understand the diabolical thought pattern behind this? You helped me get paid. Now I want to get paid by humiliating you. Step 5, they weaponize the access. They use the very proximity that I provided to them against me. They know my habits. They know what frustrates me. They know my personal vulnerabilities because they've been on my show and I've shared my dialogue with them. And they know who I have relationships with. They know who I have associations with. And this information is shared publicly because when I go live and you have these big name content creators come to my channel, oh, I see this person always come to your channel. Now when they go live, I don't see him hitting his panel no more. I don't see Nate the Lawyer on his show though. Weekend at Willie's is dead. That's what happened when you coon up. But removed from its original context and converted into public ammunition, it looks good. It sounds good. That is why this is betrayal by proximity. The weapon could only be built because I first opened the door and gave them the tools. They sought my light. They benefited from my light. They denied receiving my light. And then they attacked my light to generate their own. These 5 moves are not an ordinary disagreement. They are a clout extraction followed by identity policing or policing and reputational sabotage. But why would receiving help produce resentment instead of gratitude? The answer begins with the moral weight of a gift. When debt becomes an accusation, a gift does more than just transfer value. It creates a relationship. It reminds the recipient that somebody contributed to an opportunity that they could use to then create something, but they didn't create it alone. Or they couldn't create it as quickly when they was doing it alone. A man that is secure in himself can acknowledge that contribution without feeling is diminished. He can say, this person helped me and I appreciated it, because gratitude does not erase his own effort. But an insecure man with less experience who needs assistance is humiliated. And each and every acknowledgement of the help reminds him that he once needed the person he now wants to surpass or oppose or condemn. So these same people who want to pass surpass, oppose, or condemn me is the very people who needed me. But yet, when you needed me, you're not letting everybody know that when you came to me, I gave to you willingly and openly. When niggas needed help, when niggas needed me, I gave. And these same niggas, for numbers and super chats and cash apps and subscriptions, is the same people that's turning their back on me. And now the internal logic becomes this. If the person who helped me is a traitor, a sellout, or enemy to the community, then I owe him nothing. Because using him was justified. Condemning him is not gratitude, it is courage. It takes courage to go against Cellulite Podcast. I'm justified in going against Cellulite Podcast. Even though I need a Cellulite Podcast, I'm justified. Even though he's a sellout, I'm justified. Even though he's a traitor, I'm justified. Even if he is an enemy to the community, I'm justified. Even if he fed me, I owe him nothing. This is what I call ritualized ingratitude, which is the public degradation of a benefactor to erase the depth of a gratitude and prove loyalty to a group. The person crosses the ideological boundary in private because he needs what the outsider possesses. He then returns to his community and performs condemnation as a ritual of purification. The attack is announced very loudly. I may have accepted his assistance, but I have not become just like Cellulite. Yeah, he helped. Yeah, he sent $5 in the super chat. Yeah, he shared my stream out, or he redirected to my stream. Yeah, he gave me a platform. He gave me an opportunity to be on his show. I asked him to be a part of a debate. Appreciate you, Bad Duck, for the cash app. He says, instead of all that, I just prefer to say they're a piece of shit. Absolutely. I appreciate you. Because now to them, the benefactor is a sacrifice that's offered in exchange for renewed acceptance. These same people that is seeking acceptance and acknowledgement from the same community that both me and him come from, he's now sacrificing me up to the same community just so he can get acceptance. No problem. That is also why denial can become more aggressive as the assistance becomes more substantial. The greater the help, the greater the moral debt. The greater the debt, the more completely the giver must be degraded to erase it. But I'm lame. Exactly. I'm lame, though, right? I'm lame, though. That's why his numbers not as high. Oh, you only got your numbers is only high because you was vertical streaming. These same people that was talking shit about me vertical streaming is now vertical streaming. Ain't that a bitch? These same people who were saying, oh, well, you vertical streaming and horizontal streaming. These same people is now dual streaming. Ain't that something? When the game was being given for free, and yes, now I'm going to say one person's name. When the angry man was dropping free game on my show, these same people who was talking shit about me and listening to what he was saying on my show went back to their show and did the shit that he was saying on my show. But yet they don't like the motherfucker and they don't like me, but they like the shit that I say and they like the shit that he say when he over here. But yet you don't like him. But yet you was coming to me in my inbox, sending me text messages, sending me emails. How do I get the angry man on my show? How do I get Nate the lawyer on my show? How do I get this person from this network on my show? When you wanted to be fed, you came to my table. There's a whole conversation that I had with the OG. in which in turn the OG taught me a very valuable lesson. And that lesson I keep to myself. I'm not sharing it with y'all. But I'll tell you this, something I picked up a long time ago. Everybody that came with you can't go. Period. And everybody that's hungry, sometimes it's a reason why they starving. That's something that my father told me a long time ago. Sometimes people are starving because they are starving themselves, or they're starving because they want what you got, even though they was offered something. Everybody in this chat may have offered them something to eat, but they only want what I got. Nita may have offered him a sandwich. Sister Treese may have offered him some noodles. Almond Eyes may have offered him a piece of fish. Best I Can Be may have offered him some steak. Bad Duck offered him some chicken. No. They wanted what I had because what I had was divine to them. What I had was spiritual to them. What I had was holy to them, which was success, even if it was temporary. So you know what they did? They passed up everybody else, all the other content creators. Even when I said, hey, instead of asking me for help, you know what my politics are. You know what my drive is. You know what my rhetoric is. Why don't you go ask this person? Why don't you go ask that person? Why don't you go to this person's channel? I understand you want to work with bigger content creators because you feel like small-time content creators don't get opportunities like big-time content creators. Why don't you go to this person? And then magically, here come that person that I sent them to ask me for help. Somebody help me understand. Because they privately trusted my competence while publicly condemning my character. They kept the fruit and they cursed the tree. They borrowed the ladder and they reached the next floor. And then they burned the ladder so nobody could follow the evidence back to the source. And in doing so, this brings us to the political dimension. What does this behavior say about me as a Black conservative and about the particular Black liberal creators who engaged in it? What it says about them and also what it does not say. My bad. I forgot to put topic number 4 up there. My bad, y'all. Hold up. I forgot to include topic number 4, and I got it right there on the screen. My bad. I don't know. I know a lot of y'all that hate watch, and I know some of y'all probably figured it out that I was talking about you. Go fire up your live stream because I seen the numbers was at 40. Now they at 25. No problem. Am I dropping a link? I may. Well, we $75 away from an open panel show if y'all want an open panel. So let me be precise about what it says about them and what it also does not say. Their behavior does not prove that Black liberalism is inherently dishonest. It does not prove that every Black liberal creator is a leech, because liberalism did not force these individuals to betray me. What it reveals in these people is that these particular content creators and people of their chat allow political incentives to outrank personal integrity. Their solidarity that was conditional based on ideological agreement with me, they consider my resources acceptable while treating my politics as contaminating. They could seek my advice privately because competence was useful, but publicly acknowledging that that help might damage the political identity that they sold out to their audience. Yet I'm the sellout. Best I Can Be says, I was making great political talking points in Venus live chat, and out of nowhere, Taz and Freezy came in and called me a racist devil, and she believed them. So as my daddy would say, F them. Because you know why, Best I? Because condemning you solved that contradiction, or even better, condemning me solved that contradiction for them. It allowed them to keep what they received while reassuring their audience. In other words, I benefited from sales platform, but I remain politically pure because I am willing to attack him. Did you catch it? I'm going to say it again. I benefited from sales platform, but I remain politically pure because I am willing to attack him. Not just attack me, but also attack my wife and my children. But see, what they don't understand is that's not a liberal principle. That's a tribal performance. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to capture the audience by wearing liberal language costumes. And you capture the audience. Capturing the audience occurs when creators stop leading their audiences and become prisoners of what their audiences reward. In other words, instead of them being genuine or authentic themselves, they must be destructive. They must be this way. They must behave in a very disrespectful way. They must talk shit about me by not talk shit about me. They must talk shit about the things that I've said and the people I've been around, and not talk shit about the people that I've said and the people that I've been around. And yet they always talk about nuance. But see, they don't tell you about what nuance is. If nuance produces silence, but outrage produces clicks, outrage eventually becomes the product. And if gratitude towards a political opponent risks disapproval, but attacking him produces praise, then a weak character will follow that incentive. Their liberalism did not require betrayal. Their environment may have rewarded betrayal, but their character made the choice. In other words, there was no point in attacking me. But what did you do? Your supporters wanted you to attack me. You didn't want to attack me. Your supporters wanted to attack me. But because I let you in and I gave you advice when I fed you, you went back to your supporters with a full belly after leaving a pile of shit on my door. You said, yeah, his food was terrible, and they paid you for it. You went back to your channel and you was talking shit. Yeah, man, Cell House was this, and his guest was rude, and his wife was this, and his kids was that, and his house is this, and his politics is this, and his rhetoric is this, and he hate black women, and he hate black men, and he hate black culture, he hate black community, he a Trump supporter. But when you was in my house, when you was in my house, when you came to my streams, when you was on my panels, when you were eating my food, when I allowed you to restream to your channel, you were making money on your channel off my content. Is it making sense yet? Put a 1 in the chat if it's making sense yet. And I know what I'm saying is hurting because the numbers keep falling. That's fine. But when you was in Sales House, you was getting fed. Not only was I feeding you, I allowed you to open up your pocket and let people throw things in your pocket. I allowed you. I afforded you the ability to be able to not just eat at my table, but also let other people contribute to your table while you was in my house. Do y'all remember, and I know I don't fuck with Buddy no more, but do y'all remember that timeless episode when I was on Tommy Sotomayor's show and me and Jeff got into it? Because Jeff was saying some betrayalful things about Tommy Sotomayor. And I pointed out the fact that Jeff was dead wrong for acting like a friend to Tommy. And the truth of the matter was, you went back to Corey and what's his name, and you was talking shit about Tommy. And Tommy got mad. Tommy started crying. He was pissed the fuck off because Jeff said, oh, I would be coming to collect heads. And Tommy said, well, motherfucker, I need to collect your head. So it's quite a few of you. It's a debt that's owed. But I don't want it. I'm good. Corey and Zoe, thank you. I don't want it. Because the money you made off shitting on my name, the resources I gave you, the products I gave you, the advice that you picked up, the guidance that you got was more valuable than the disrespect that you gave. And I refuse to answer their generalization of me with my own of them. If they claim that black conservatives hate black people, I won't be responding. I appreciate you, Rocky, for the jewels. Thank you very much. I won't be responding to parasites who cannot tolerate the truth, that would reproduce the same intellectual laziness that I am condemning. And I am judging only documented behavior. I'm not assigning collective guilt, unlike what they do. Because if I demand accountability from them, integrity requires that I examine myself with the same seriousness. So that's my 5 topics. And these are my 5 steps to the betrayal playbook. Hold on. I got to copy these down correctly. Give me a second, y'all. And whether these people go live or not, it does not make me a difference. I don't care. This is my one and only retort to all of y'all. Appreciate you, Rocky. Thank you very much. And if people want to react, you can react. If people want to review, you can review. If people want to put their own spin on it, you can put your own spin on it. I don't care. And step 4, step 3. Hold on. Here's step 4. And here's step 5. That's my 5 steps of the betrayal playbook. Distort the position. Police the identity. Erase the contribution. Manufacture the grievance. And weaponize the access. And there's so many people that do this, not just to me, because I can name a number of people. Oh yeah, man, this person, they told me about you, say you're like, I don't think you're a person I should have on my platform. You know how many people out that have come to me and they be like, oh yeah, you do this person told me about you. Yeah, we can't have him on our platform. When I was being offered to go to other people's platforms that's bigger than mine, platform that's bigger than some other people's too. Oh yeah, I watched you on this other person's show and they was talking about you. Nah, 94 Blow Up says this is very common and it's getting worse. Hey, when certain people told me about access was being cut off to them and doors was being closed to them because other people were saying shit about them, I was just like, oh, wait. Bad Duck says you don't need other platforms. Bad Duck, it's not about me needing other people's platforms. I had opportunities to be on bigger platforms, but because other people was shitting on my name, because other people who was earning from me and learning from me and then turned around and start shitting on me, they went to these other platforms and was fucking up my name. And as always, they do things out of context. But that's fine by me. I have no problem with that. And now I know I'm hurting. I'm definitely hurting somebody's feelings, and I'm definitely getting into the weeds with quite a few people. We reached a cap of 50 people in here. And there's now 25. If you don't like my show, don't watch. If you don't like my content, don't watch. When other content creators come to my platform, don't watch. And if you don't like who I have on my panels, don't watch. I would rather have 5 people watching my show than to have one person who's only watching my show to run back to their platform and to talk shit. But then again, hey, I like my haters too. Haters is valuable. I love haters. But to you content creators, you disgusting ass content creators, and you know who you are. If you take some type of personal plight to it, that's on you. Almond says, so they're trashing you to get on bigger platforms to embarrass themselves. Shaking my head. They can't hang, trash you. That won't fix that. That's a fact. Hey, baby.
Hey.
What's up?
Nah, I'm gonna hit the link.
I'm not dropping the link. Well, unless you just want to come up and just say something right quick. Do you want to drop the link?
I am coming up to just say something right
Okay.
quick.
I guess I'll drop the link. We can hang for a little bit. All right, the link's been dropped. If you want to join, you're more than welcome to join. Undermindedly. I know it's not a word, but it's my word. Hey, if it works, it works. If it works, it works. Brandon said, what's going on, Brandon? He said, you welcome at my house anytime. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Greatly appreciate it. I was missing out on a lot of y'all chats. My bad, y'all. I'm sorry. I apologize. Rocky, thank you for the jewels. I know Big Bad Bull sent the super chat earlier, and Deacon Dave, thank you very much. If y'all want to support the show, y'all more than welcome to. It's greatly appreciated. Shout out to Wrestler CCD, Harmonize, Coconut. Salute to you. Why so serious? Who else was up in here? Hey, baby, what's going on? Shout out to Zion. Shout out to Omni. All of y'all. Nita, what's going on? What's up, baby?
Hi.
What's happening?
So I just have a question.
What's the question?
If he felt like he was giving us the business and he was really, we just couldn't take the heat, why was he so apologetic while he was here?
Hey, listen, he's one of 5 people that was talking shit about me yesterday. I ain't even worried about that little nigga.
Oh, I know, but I don't respect it ever, because when people have the opportunity to click a link or have the conversation face to face, they never want to have the conversation, but then they want to run back to their platform like the videos don't exist. Like, we could run it back with the play how you was kissing booty butt cheeks and apologizing all over yourself.
Yep.
And I want to address the stupidness that he said. First of all, sir, you clearly weren't paying attention. I get it, because you were in the car without a seatbelt on, and you had young minors in your car without a seatbelt on, because you were so pressed to be right and jumping on panels trying to clout chase that you were not focused on protecting your surroundings. Remember when we had to tell you to turn off your camera because you were showing all of your surroundings and your whole entire child, but somebody was doing something to you, sir? Let's be so for real. And when it comes down to introducing character information, believe what you want to believe. At this point, that's where I'm at with it. Because if there is one word that you hear when you're going over a statute of law, the majority of you that want to play Law and Order via YouTube be like, oh no, see, it says this. That's that confirmation bias reading. That's not reading to research. That's not reading to understand, which is why a lot of you have your hearts broken and you are constantly holding out on hope for a thing that does not exist. Law is a very complicated thing, which is why they have legalese and a whole legal library. Because everything doesn't mean the same as it does in traditional conversation, in traditional English. Mm-hmm. Now, yes, you can pull in character information, but you cannot pull in character information when it is irrelevant to the crime that was committed. That's the part. Out here looking like a whole dun-dun-dun.
But hold on. Go ahead. I thought you was about to talk about it.
No, go ahead. No, I'm good. Okay. Just looking stupid. Just looking real dumb.
I want you to listen to this.
As far as live streaming goes, no, I'm like I said, I'm working on networking with other people, other creators, possibly getting a panel together. You know, inviting people over to the show. You know, I am a small content creator, so a lot of times the bigger content creators, they wait until you get to their level before they start interacting with you.
When this nigga said this, he only had a couple hundred, or maybe like 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 subscribers. I was in this chat. I said, bro, I don't mind, you know, offering you to come up on my platform. This is when I was doing numbers. You see what I'm saying? And he ain't the only one. It's other niggas who have offered or who have requested to be on my platform. But at the same time, extending my hand to help you niggas, and he ain't the only one. Because there's some of you other well-known content creators that some of y'all in this chat right now, y'all know who they is. I just haven't said their name. Some of you other niggas who inboxed and emailed me and asking me, oh, how do I do this? How do I do that? What hashtags do I use? Can I come up on the panel when this person's up there? How do I get in contact with this person? How you get Nate the Lawyer to come to your show? How you get this person to come to your show? What do I got to do to grow my platform like yours? Yeah, when y'all niggas was asking to eat off my table, and I was offering you niggas a spot, when I was offering you niggas guidance, when I was giving you niggas advice, it wasn't fuck me because I'm a black conservative. It wasn't fuck me because I disagree with you about Karmelo. It wasn't fuck me because I don't believe in the whole victimhood mentality of what it means to be black. No, it was Sale doing numbers. Kills know what I'm talking about. Kills been here since the very first day I had 1,000 people in my fucking chat. And these same niggas right now that's blowing up all over social media, going on other people's panels, being a part of shows, being on thumbnails. These same niggas, let me stop yelling. These same niggas was in my inbox and doing, can I do a show with you? You doing politics. I would love to do politics with you. We can grow, we can run the numbers up. But then you run back to your platform and you shit on my name. You run back to your platform, you put me on the thumbnail, you talk shit about me.
Listen, here's the thing, like, this is social media. It's survival of the most thirsty. A lot of these people on here, they don't really have a business plan, and they don't really have no money. And they doing everything they can so that they can buy their kids McDonald's. They doing everything that they can so that they could get up out the hood. It's a dog eat dog situation, and that's the problem in the Black community. But when you get to talking about stuff like that, then you're the bad guy.
Big fact. Shout out to best I can be with $2. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate it. Armanair says it's always ninjas. Facts. It's always ninjas who's trying to be performative, especially in front of women. It reminds me of the Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels situation. That's why to a lot of you niggas, a lot of you content creators that was trying to go out there and go in on Anton, that's why a lot of y'all was getting the support that y'all was getting. Not because you was going at the Anton, not because you was disagreeing with me, not because you was disagreeing with others, but you just saw it as an opportunity, and I'm glad you took it. Because you didn't expose your position, you exposed your character. That as long as the iron is hot, you're supposed to strike at it. That's what you're supposed to do as a content creator. And before I went live today, I'm glad I went over there to Izzy's show and I was talking with Izzy about it don't matter what people say about you. Because it's true. It really don't matter to me what people say about me. But what does matter is knowing that people have come to me asking me for things. And I've given them things. And then they turn around and they slash my throat at the drop of a dime because someone in their chat said, oh, well, do you know Sale this? Do you know his wife that? Do you know he believed this? Do you know his rhetoric is that?
Sorry.
So where was the... You're good. You're good. So where was the loyalty? Where was the loyalty? Where was the loyalty? Not to me. You ain't got to be loyal to me. Where was the loyalty to being honest? Hey, I understand you might not like Sale, but he ain't did me wrong. I understand that me and Sale may have had our differences or may have had our disagreements, but in the end, he cool peoples. I ain't gotta agree with them, but I also don't have to dislike him just because you don't dislike him. I mean, just because you don't like them. But that's tribal. What they call it, baby? Tribal warfare?
It's not even tribal warfare. It's broke niggas.
But you know, it is every time we go live, Michael's like, oh, y'all niggas live? Oh, it's time to get live.
Now remind you, he was in here passed out like a whole fat boy. Okay, with all the popcorn. It's popcorn everywhere. It's a popcorn palooza.
It's popcorn all over the floor.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'll come vacuum it up. Anyway, y'all.
Got it. He just trying me. But you know what? Don't give these the fools, these mark ass busters, nearly bit more attention. Because that's exactly what the fuck they want. They I'm trying not to cuss. They is constantly striving for attention. Like it's ridiculous. And what they fail to realize is the master is not always going to give you the information. You just a student. And if people really only knew, I ain't going to tell them, but just watch. That's what I'll say. Just watch. Thank you for getting off the carousel early. Appreciate you.
Hey, listen. Because it was opportunity. Okay, cool. Because for some people, they don't know. Some people, they don't know. But I'm going to leave it alone. Anyway, baby, I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. I appreciate y'all for stopping by. Again, this is the Proximity Betrayal Playbook, the 5 steps to identify reputational sabotage. I hope y'all enjoyed the live. For KB side, he said 48 laws. It's just the 5 steps, man. Kill says, Sell Dave Anderson seems cool. I think he will rock with you. Dave Anderson does rock with me. Dave Anderson been to my show. I've been to Dave Anderson's show. Got Dave Anderson book. Talk to Dave Anderson on the phone. That's my man's. And the same people, watch this. The same people that disagree with, don't like Dave Anderson, was asking me to set up a show with them and Dave Anderson. And guess what these people do? Guess what they do? And Dave Anderson is my man's. But y'all see what happened. This is what happened. Dave Anderson was on my show, and Angry Man came up here. It was either Angry Man came up or Angry Man was up here and Dave came up. I can't remember exactly how that went. I think Dave was up here and Angry Man came up. He was like, bruh, you for reals? I'm like, yeah, man. Y'all should link. Because I know people that know people that know people that know people. Right?
No, you don't.
Yeah, I don't know nobody no more. Because when the opportunity came for me to grow and get to know more people, guess what these people did? Oh, I heard about you from this person. I heard about you from that person. Okay, what you hear about me? Yeah, we don't want to do business with you. You don't want to do business with me for what? You don't want to do business with me because of what somebody else said? Have you looked at? Nah, we good. We don't want to talk no more. Damn, I send an email. I get the email back, like return to sender. Like, goddamn. You don't want to do business with me because of what this person said? Okay, cool. No problem.
Here's the thing. And the gag is nobody wants to do business with a follower. You cannot be a leader in business but following what other people say. Oh, did I say the quiet part out loud?
Yeah, you did, because you know why? There's something that happened when a lot of people was following a specific person. What happened?
They ain't popping no more. When that person stopped popping, they stopped popping.
When that person start pushing daisies.
Do a dollar per daisy. Listen, I'm gonna get down so you can say goodbye to your people, because you know I'm on heathen time right now. So you know.
Ain't we all?
Mm-hmm.
Ain't we all? Well, again, like I said, it was a time where Cellulite Podcast was popping, and that time will come back. It's a time right now where y'all are popping. Enjoy your success. I'm not coming to drop no names to collect. I'm happy that y'all succeeded. But the blueprint that you using is the one that I gave you. For you to be the success, I had to give you a career. I had to give you the blueprint on how to get where you are now. So imagine when I'm cooking. The food you serving to your people that's getting you the reviews, the Michelin stars that you think is sticking. Oh, wait till I start serving up on my kitchen. It's going to be disastrous for a lot of you. I'm sorry. I apologize in advance. Your menus is going to be washed out. Your content is going to be drowned out. Your rhetoric is going to be pushed aside. And they're going to throw your channel on the floor. And don't worry about it. Patience is what wins the race. Again, like I said, this ain't no beef. This ain't no shot. I'm just telling the truth. And with these five steps within this playbook, maybe you can use it as a mirror and look at yourself and say, damn, I fucked up. But I don't want your apology. Keep it. Please keep it. Whatever content we did together, I'm glad we did it together. Because when you showed your ass, I understood exactly who it was I was seeing, an ass. No problem. I rock with those who rock with themselves. That way I know who not to rock with. That being said, y'all, I'm about to go play video games. So I'll holler at y'all.
Betrayal does not begin with a blade. It begins with a chair at your table, a private conversation, a favor they intend to erase. 5 steps. Watch the pattern. Yeah. Step 1, rewrite the man, make the lie fit neat. Build a version in public that is safe for the defeat. You knew what I meant, but the truth would not trend, so you bent every sentence, then you called it defense. Step 2, when the argument failed, make identity to change. Question my blackness, try to discipline my brain. I was black when you needed my access in my hand, then a traitor when I would not let your politics command. You did not test my logic, you challenged my right to stand in my own skin, still choose my own light. You wanted an obedient symbol, not a brother with a view. So the moment I spoke freely, I became a threat to you. Close ain't kin, and the smile ain't proof. A seat at my table does not purchase my truth. You entered as a student, left posing as the judge. That is envy, learning language in disguise, in a grudge. First you studied the door, then the locks, then the room.
Then you sell what was private,
like a story you own.
but the dark keeps receipts.
And the record survives. Every borrowed handprint shows when truth turns on the light.
Close enough to cut me, close enough to lie. Borrowed from my fire, then you cursed me for the lie. 5 steps from the table to the blade behind your smile. Proximity and loyalty, I see you clearly now.
Step 3, erase the favor, kill the dead inside the tale. If you admit I ever helped you, your betrayal starts to fail. So you rewrite your beginning like you rose there on your own, while the bricks beneath your platform came directly from my home. Step 4, manufacture grievance, give the theft a moral name. Turn ambition into injury, exploitation into pain. Now the user plays the victim and the witness gets accused. Every kindness becomes evidence that you were somehow used. You needed righteous theater to legitimize the take, so you found a private fragment and promoted it as fate. You do not need facts when resentment fills the room. Just a villain and a slogan in the crowd to chant the tune. But gratitude ain't weakness, truth ain't tribal control. And the debt that you deny still leaves a stain upon the soul. The lie may win a moment, but the pattern does not bend. The one who steals the ladder fears who watch the holder sink.
Close enough to cut me, oh, close enough to lie. Borrowed from my fire, then you cursed me for the lie. 5 steps from the table to the blade behind your smile. Proximity and loyalty, I see you clearly now.
Step 5, weaponize access. Every secret becomes stock. Every wound becomes a headline. Every trust becomes a prop. You sat close enough to listen, close enough to learn the scars. Then you sold a map to strangers and pretended it was yours. That ain't critique, that is conversion. Relationship to rounds, turning rooms of private mercy into ammunition now. But what you exposed was not me, it was the hunger in your frame. You needed my proximity to manufacture your name. I do not regret the help, and I regret ignoring signs. Confusing shared experience with a symmetry of minds. Community ain't immunity from envy or deceit, and common skin cannot sanctify the motives underneath. So I forgive without reopening the gate. Love from a distance, let discernment set the weight. You may profit from the story, but the ending remains mine. You borrow from the light, you could never own the shine. Not everybody beside you is with you. Not everybody who needs you respects you. Access is not loyalty. Familiarity is not love. Proximity only reveals what character does with opportunity.
Close enough to cut me, close enough to lie. Borrowed from my fire, then you cursed me for the lie. 5 moves, same disguise, I can't read the pattern now. Proximity ain't loyalty, I see you clearly now.
Access ain't loyalty.
Access ain't loyalty,
Familiar ain't family.
no, ain't.
You borrowed from the light, but the light still tells the truth.
Butterfly in the sky, I must be really high. There's a dragon there, I'm a little scared. A reading rainbow.
It begins with a